What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of Challenge Express Challenge Recap. Choo choo. I'm joined by my sister, Nicole. What's going on, Nicole?
Howdy.
And I am Tom. And we're going to go over episode 3 of MTV's The Challenge Double Agents. All right, so this is our first recap because let's just say technical difficulties.
Like, we will never get it right.
We'll never figure it out.
We suck.
Yeah, we suck. We don't belong in this era. I don't know how technology works.
I don't know either, but we try.
We try. We try.
Let's just say episode 1 and 2 recap recordings went so poorly getting them uploaded that Thomas actually said he doesn't want to do podcasts anymore. And I was like, wait, hold on.
I mean, I do, but I don't want to go through the stress. So the last episode 1, we had an echo that we didn't realize until halfway through the episode. Episode 2 recap got taken down for copyright. I was really excited for that one. I've seen other people use clips of the challenge in their YouTube videos, so I thought it wouldn't be a problem, I guess because it was such a recent episode. But again, I should have done more research, I suppose. I'm not exactly sure.
Yeah, maybe we could still just upload episode 2 recap without any clips, and so that way that's up there, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
So can we begin first? I was so upset that they skipped this week. Like, it doesn't make any sense. First of all, it wasn't even a holiday. It was the day before New Year's Eve. Second of all, nobody has plans on New Year's Eve or the day before New Year's Eve. So, like, give us something to do. Like, I could have made a whole thing around it. Like, I don't get it.
Third of all, last episode 3 aired the day before Christmas Eve. You would think the day before Christmas Eve is like a bigger day than the day before New Year's Eve. Why are we talking about the day before Eves right now?
Like, that's not even a holiday. It's the day before a holiday. Like, it's
yeah, the eve before the eve, which is not a thing.
No, what the? So yeah, I was really upset because I was looking forward to it all week. Everybody's like still kind of trapped in their houses, and we still can't like really do too much. So take away the only show that I watch, and it's like, cool, all right.
Yep, I hear you. And yeah, they were doing it like dropping it mad nonchalantly, like on their Twitter. They would be like, "Catch the new episode, not tomorrow." It's like, wait, what?
Anyway, whatever. They better make up for it with a good episode next week.
Yeah. Well, we start off with a bang this episode as maybe the greatest pair in challenge history, Big CT, aka Hawk and Fuzzy Bunny.
I love them so much. It's so funny. Like, they're so opposite in so many ways. Oh man. I'm here for it.
They complement each other so well, even after the daily challenge, after they competed. Big T was like, "I've never been in a fight." And CT's like, "Yeah, wish I could say the same."
Like, they're so opposite. I love how like bubbly and happy she is. And she's like, "You gotta smile more."
Fuzzy Bunny, calm down, Fuzzy Bunny.
Oh, it's great. I hope they stick around for at least a little while.
Yeah. But yeah, another bomb that was dropped at the beginning of this episode was Fessy announcing to a group of people that the secret vote ain't so secret. This obviously spreads through the whole house, most likely, but yeah, I mean, this was a big surprise to everybody because, yeah, I mean, TJ announces it as a secret vote. It's not a secret vote. Everybody's cards have kind of been shown, at least to Fessy and Anissa, and Fessy and Anissa can do what they want with the information that they've gathered the first 2 daily challenges. What do you think about him telling everybody right now?
I think he had to at a certain point. I mean,
this was before the daily challenge. At least that's how it was edited. So it's not like they lost the daily challenge, then had to say something, but I mean, I guess I agree with you. Eventually, you would have had to say something. You're
Or
not going to
also
win every daily challenge.
the Kyle drama probably had something to do with it, to be like, yeah, Kyle, we know you're a snake because we know where you voted. Like,
Which would be an emotional move if that's
yeah,
the reason why he told them.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't see it. Eventually, it was going to get out. So I don't know. I don't really see too much harm.
Yeah, it's kind of messed up towards like Anissa
Mhm.
because did you consult Anissa before saying this? Because now you're making Anissa look bad if she's like lying around the house.
And again, that could be an editing thing. Like maybe they did and they just didn't show us.
Right. But we know it wasn't an editing thing when Corey was not the first to find out because Corey doesn't like the way Fessy announced that. And I don't know, there's just seems to be a ripple between the two right now.
Oh yeah, what he was.
He was like, you should have came to me first. Like, I'm your boy. Like, why are you telling the
And
whole house before me? Why I'm the lot?
yeah, and Corey lied for Fessy and voted Wes when him and Wes were actually cool. So like he just made him look really bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Corey won't forget that.
Yeah. So Kyle's been playing an on the fence game. That's his style.
Yeah.
But with this twist being revealed, he has to choose a side earlier than he would normally like to.
But he calls his side. He makes it really clear now.
Yeah, he says he's playing on Wes's side. But that's the extent of that argument as Queen Cam settles them down, brings them back to reality. Yeah, I mean, anything else before we get to the daily challenge?
Honestly, it was 2 weeks ago, so like I'm remembering as you say things. Like
Yeah.
you know what's so annoying? I went to go rewatch the episode, and it's saying that on Sling that it's not coming up until the 4th. They're gonna let you be able to see episode 3, and I'm like, it already aired. I'm
I
like,
just watched it like 20 minutes ago.
I
just looked it over.
Oh, I checked like 20 minutes ago and it wouldn't let me watch it. It was saying like we're gonna put it up on Sling in a couple days. I'm like, it's been out for 2 weeks. I pay for this. What the?
That's weird. I'll have to go double check that unless I got to it at a perfect time before they took it down.
Anyway,
Yeah.
no, the daily chat. No, we can move on to the daily challenge.
Yeah, daily challenge. Maybe the best daily challenge so far. The first episode's daily challenge wasn't that bad. I didn't like the second one too much.
But you didn't like the one with the frozen like swim?
Yeah, the swim with the kill pills.
Because it was more like political, yeah.
Yeah, it was a political challenge rather than a competitive one, kinda.
Yeah.
So yeah, 2 teams at a time will compete on a 50-mile-per-hour moving, speeding truck.
This was sick. This is dangerous.
Yeah. Dangerous. Yeah, I mean, we saw 2 injuries come out of this challenge, so definitely dangerous.
Even like that net that they fell into, and this is just like, I don't know, those are my
That's scary.
But the net is kind of slanted like this, and it's got big holes in it. So like, if you were to fall on the way, like it's just set up for a disaster.
Yeah.
And you should have like smaller holes, so that way you're like arms stuck as you're like going into it. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely scary. Yeah, you have to wrestle and push your opponent off the truck. And the team who does that the fastest to both of their opponents win. I was kind of confused the first time I watched this. I didn't necessarily understand the rules, like first person to hit the net, first person to like I didn't understand how you would be determined the winner.
Is it their feet leave? I think it's the person's feet who leave.
Just the whoever's limb is on the top of the truck last.
Yeah.
So it could be like a pinky.
Yeah.
But they would win.
Yeah. Which is kind of silly because if like whatever, if they're clearly getting pushed in, but they're just like think.
Yeah, which we kind of saw with Wes and Josh. Josh thought he murdered Wes and was holding him off, but Wes kind of tugged him at the last second and kind of kept his foot on there while he slung Josh off.
Wes is one of the best players is because he's smart.
Yeah.
Josh is just like, oh, I shoved him off. And Wes is like, you're an idiot.
Yeah, I mean, it's like almost like a rookie mistake. Josh is like almost still a rookie because he really hasn't won anything.
And he hasn't like unlocked that like knowledge of the challenge where it's like play smart, not hard. Like you
Yeah,
can.
I think it's obviously a learning curve, and I think it's gonna take him longer than it usually takes people. He just doesn't seem like the competitor that he wants to be, maybe.
Yeah, like his heart is there, but
Yeah.
not his brain.
And yeah, so some things that happen. Nicole obviously dislocates her shoulder and ultimately gets DQ'd from the whole show. She got to go home.
Yeah, I was really upset to see that because I was excited to see her this season. Also, I have never seen somebody get injured so gracefully, and like she was so stoic. She was just like, all right, let's not make a big deal about this. Like, can you just get me off? So can we just figure this out? Like she wasn't panicking. Like it was just very refreshing to see somebody get injured and not be like,
Yeah. And it's even more impressive to see how calm she was after, because she dislocated her shoulder like halfway through that battle and finished wrestling with Cam with a dislocated shoulder, which probably is the reason why she got sent home, because I've seen dislocated shoulders in like mixed martial arts and maybe some other sports, and they pop it right back in and they usually go back to fighting. I could be wrong there, but maybe because she had it dislocated for so long, and even the hospital trip, nobody seemed to know what to do.
oh.
Which I feel like it's like a normal thing that happens, like a shoulder dislocation. Like a normal medical doctor should know how to deal with that, or at least identify it.
Maybe it was just worse than normal. I don't know. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm sure fighting with it didn't help. But oh, that was crazy. You could see it popped out. Ooh.
Yeah. Devin's like, it's popped out. Like
Yeah.
nothing else that needs to be looked at. Facts about, go ahead, what?
Gabby got hurt too? No, Amber.
Liv.
Okay, I get them all mixed up.
They're rookies. It's okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, Liv thinks she snapped her arm, and she comes back in the house. She's not eliminated yet.
True. Until she can't.
Says the doctor saw like a small something, like the doctors didn't know what was wrong with her, but they saw some like discrepancy. It's like, again, these doctors, what are they?
Maybe like there's some legal thing where they can't say it on TV. I don't know.
It almost sounds to me like she'll eventually get eliminated, DQ'd from the game. Yeah, Amber B. We learned something about Amber B finally. I bet you can't remember because it was probably the only confessional she had this season.
Oh, I remember. She used to play.
Yes. Yes.
And the sport was the one where you like.
No, not cricket.
No, not cricket. No. Hold on. I know it.
I can give you a hint.
Give me the first letter.
R.
Rugby.
Yeah.
Oh, that was stressful.
That was stressful. Whew.
That was the word I was looking for, though.
Yeah. Amber B played rugby for about 5 years, which is a good sport to have on your background going into the challenge. Having played sports in the past I feel like it's a good thing going into the challenge in general, but sometimes it could be deceiving. Like if you can't bring specific talents to the challenge because the challenge covers so many different talents. So if you go in like a basketball, like I remember a couple seasons ago, there was this guy named Theo who was like I think he was like a basketball, played basketball in college, but his talents just didn't translate.
Didn't he do track too? Theo?
That was a different Theo. I'm talking about a different Theo. But yeah, like or how about Derek H? You know, physical specimen, played football in college, I think, and his talents just did not transfer over to the challenge. So I feel like rugby is a good one to have, though, because there's a lot of physical challenges.
You know, like every night before I go to sleep, I say to myself, I can't believe Tori and Jordan broke up. Still can't believe it.
I mean, I could believe it.
Like, I want to know what happens this season. Like, something had to happen.
Oh my God. Well, you don't know this. You don't know this about Tori? I don't know if this is true. My friend, who's a very inexperienced challenge watcher, said that Tori is dating Fessy.
Really?
Apparently. Or they're together in the moment. I don't know.
Stop it.
I don't know.
Stop.
Maybe I'm just spreading.
Let me go on the gram because that's all I know.
I thought you would know because I think he knew by her gram.
Okay. Well, let me look at
You need to be a better stalker, which is what I'm
I look at Tori's story like every day. I don't know. I need to find out because
we're gonna have to check that.
If that's true, then that's probably one of the reasons she left.
Yeah, I mean, that's very true. If her and Fessy are together, there's no way there would be no connection between that and their time in the house together.
Yeah. And Fessy's single, well, went into the season.
Feelings had to develop, even if it was in like the smallest like manner.
That's not who I would expect her to be with next.
Yeah, me too.
But okay, maybe it's a rumor. All right.
Maybe it's a rumor.
Sleep over it. It's fine. I mean, Fessy's cool, but like he seems kind of
Nicole's gonna cry after this podcast, but it's okay.
Boring.
You love Tori more than Jordan, so it was more about Tori anyway.
More about Tori, yeah.
It's all about Tori.
Yeah, let's be honest. Okay, so sorry. Moving on.
Back to the daily challenge. Most impressive performance. I have to give it to Michi.
Yeah.
Yeah, threw Corey off, beating Corey.
Yeah, I really, every episode I like him more and more. Not that I never didn't like him, I just maybe didn't take him that seriously, but he's feisty. Kind of reminds me of Bear. I've said that before. And he seems like he cares, so I don't know, we'll see.
Yeah, he seems, I think I've said this before, he's the quickest guy on the show probably.
Yeah.
Which is intimidating to people. Like CT, imagine CT going against Michi and just like a sprint. It's like Michi's winning.
Yeah, for sure. But do you remember that daily challenge where they had to like sit or stand on this raised structure over water, and it was like literally like this freaking thin? And remember, for some reason, you know what I'm talking about, where CT somehow his big ass was like balancing on this little teeny piece, and I remember being blown away. I was like, why is he so nimble right now? Like,
yeah, that was Dirty 30. It was the first daily challenge of Dirty 30 after CT got like flown in late to the show, goes to his first daily challenge and sits on this like half-inch pedestal above the water and stays there somehow, even though he's huge. And that he was kind of out of shape then too, so I don't even know how he did it.
Defying physics, like it made no sense.
And that was the same episode where Derek H fell off first and was like, "How is my big ass supposed to sit on this thing?" And then you look at CT and it's like, "Oh, that's how."
Yeah, don't make excuses here.
Yeah. We talked about Liv getting hurt. CT and Fessy was the main event. They were the last to go, and they timed out. I anticipated it to be a better daily challenge when I learned the rules, but it didn't really turn out to be that great of a watch, at least for me.
That was pretty exciting.
Okay. We'll agree to disagree.
Okay.
I guess that's what these conversations are about.
I mean, yeah, I thought it was awesome.
No, it was great. It was good. It was definitely the best of the season, but I don't know. It was kind of hard to capture everything. It was kind of sloppy in my opinion, but
More of the editing, I would say.
yeah.
I was disappointed in Tori. Like, I guess she didn't do that great. And one of the rookies, I think Liv was, or somebody, one of the rookies was like, I'm not impressed by Tori's. I was like, no.
Well, Liv's no joke either. Liv and Tori are like the same height, the same size. They seem very comparable. So, Leroy and Casey end up winning the whole daily challenge as they beat Nelson and Amber M the quickest. So yeah, I mean, you would expect that from Casey beating Amber M pretty quick, Amber M being the smallest girl in the house. Leroy took care of business against Nelson, which was impressive.
You think Leroy's making it to the final?
I think there's a very good chance. It seems like him and Cam's season.
All right, we'll see.
It seems like Cam, it's like I almost feel like guaranteed Cam's making it to the final. She's just playing this like baller character. Like, if you don't want to, if you're gonna act weird, I'm gonna leave you and go to another partner. Like, she just like got so much confidence.
Yeah, I think that's obviously one of her strengths, her confidence, and I think that could take her really far. And she has a lot of connections. Like,
yeah, and yeah, we'll see. It's hard to know exactly where the alliances lie with the Big Brother and Cam aspect. Cam seems to be really tight with the Big Brother people, and also Leroy is tight with other people other than Big Brother, like the CTs. This episode was, even though it didn't seem like it, it was all about Leroy. After them winning the daily challenge, it was all about Leroy going in and getting his gold skull.
oh,
They didn't edit it like that, but
I'm so sick of these guys having an opportunity to get a gold skull, and they're like, if it's something physical, I would do it. And then they're like, I don't know, I see a ring on the ground. I'm not sure. I'm not going to do it. It's like, it's physical.
Yeah, well, I think Cam talked him out of this one. It takes two to tango, so Leroy's obviously to blame a little bit as well. But it seems like they really want to have control over the game rather than anything else right now.
Yeah, but I think Leroy's only downfall right now is like, it does feel like Cam is like puppeteering and kind of controlling him, which one in general is just like not really a cute look. Just in general, like, is that how you guys are in real life? Like, she just calls all the shots, and I'm all for like a strong woman, but it just doesn't feel like he has a say, or she's like letting him have a say. It feels like she's like, listen, this is what you're gonna do. And I don't think he's pushing back. And I think he's probably not pushing back because he's probably like, well, I haven't got there on my own, so I need to try something different. So let me listen to Cam.
Well, he's gotten there on his own. He's just never won a final. He's been to like 3 finals. So to him to just give the reins up to Cam like that, it's a little too quick. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but I thought that was a really poor decision not to.
Yeah. He probably would have been fine in that elimination, but we'll get there. Let's get to the food debacle between CT and Casey.
It didn't even seem like that big of an issue. It just seemed like a little bickering. So, because she wasn't, when CT went back up to her, she's like, nah, man, whatever, I don't care. Yeah. So it's like, Josh is the only reason it got to the level it did.
Yeah. Josh tells CT, well, Josh wants to get in the middle of it, wants to defend Casey, even though Casey didn't really need defending.
No, this is what fucking Josh does every time. He's like, that's my friend, like, in real life, so, like, I gotta protect them. Like, that's my friend, you know what I mean? Like, I gotta protect them, I gotta stand up for my friend. It's like, no, not, they didn't need it. Like, no. He's just, like, way too of an emotional player, like, like, it's not even rational. Like,
that's why he has been on every season since he started.
Yeah, and I mean, and it was gold. Like, it was reality TV gold.
Yeah,
like,
was this like the funniest, like, almost fight and shit? Like, it was so entertaining. What's 8 times 9, Josh? What's 8 times 9?
It was so funny. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I get really confused with my multiplication table, and I wouldn't be able to answer that if I was angry.
Hey, I was pretty quick with it. 8 times 8, 64. 8 times 9, 72.
I do the trick where I wonder if is this hand on your left side or your right side?
My right side.
Okay, so I'm
But I don't know if it's on the viewer's right side.
Okay, well, just bear with me. So for multiplication, I know all my nines because I do this. So if it's 9 times 6, you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You put your sixth finger down, and now you have 5 and 4. So 9 times 6 is 54. 9 times 7 is 63. 9 times 8 is 72. And it just works for all of them. Am I a
People are going to be like, what's wrong with your pinkies?
No, they're going to be like, oh, like, she's a child.
9 times 7, you just do this, and then you did it.
I'm still drunk from like 6 days ago. But yeah, I got these pinkies.
Yeah, you got those pinkies.
This is a genetic.
Those pinkies are trying to, I don't know what they're doing. I was gonna say trying to run away from your hand, but they're going into your hand.
I have to keep the nails trimmed, otherwise it'll cut my other finger. It's a genetic defect.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
But I used to make up really great stories that like the best one was like I said that I bit both of the tops of my fingers off, and they had to reconnect them, and the doctors reconnected them crooked. And I don't know why I told that story when I was like 10 to somebody, and they're like, oh my God, you're crazy.
I always thought it like you bit your nails. So like you would do that and then like it cracked. Oh, I don't know.
Anyway. I know how to do multiplication.
Oh yeah, yeah, I have a different method. If it's 9 times 5, then it's going to be in the 40s. If it's 9 times 6, it's going to be in the 50s. And I just memorized what it was after that.
That's the same.
Yeah. I just don't need my crooked ass fingers.
Yo, I use my fingers.
I still do sometimes. I'm not gonna lie.
But yeah, Devin is really intelligent.
Yeah.
And like not just like in a book smart way, but like
in like a simple way, because that's something like it's easy to do and it's effective.
Yeah. And I mean, it's obnoxious, but at the same time, his goal is to get Josh all riled up and possibly kicked out of the game. And Josh is just walking into the trap. Like,
yeah. And if you could do that without making yourself look like a fool, which Devin has done in the past, make himself look like a fool following Johnny Bananas around the house. If Devin can do that by just saying, Big Brother sucks. What's 8 times 9?
Yeah. He wasn't even
can't really fault him.
And he wasn't like being like nasty. He wasn't like insulting Josh. Like,
not that, at least that we saw in the edit, right?
Yeah.
It's not like he was like, what's 8 times 9, you fucking idiot?
Yeah, exactly. Like he was being silly about it.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we saw a moment there, Josh got past security. I thought he was about to get kicked off. I thought he got hands on Devin.
I thought so too.
But that was great. That was a great watch.
So good. Josh is just like always one step away from getting kicked off the show.
Yeah, Josh made some dents in the side of the house, gave the house some scars.
That's also like, I'm sorry, this is gonna sound very adult, but
yeah,
like, that is really disrespectful to production and to MTV. Like, even or like equivalent to like somebody throwing and breaking like a vase or whatever. Like, you're destroying this like beautiful place that you're living in, like
for free.
It's really disrespectful.
You're literally getting money actually to stay in that house because you get paid by like the week that you're saying that you're still in the competition.
Like leaving dirty dishes around or like, you know, being a little messy is like one thing, but like to actually destroy it to the point where now somebody has to go fix that, like screw you. That's so disrespectful.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm
And
done.
that's a costly fix too. You got to like probably fix the whole side of the house. You can't just fix that patch.
So that shit like is not cute.
Yeah, I remember when I was, I remember when I punched holes in walls, but then I turned 15. I don't know.
Exactly. Like I remember when I used to do that when I used to be, I'm like, oh, I'm so angry. Like, but legit, I was like 14, 15.
Like if you really boil it down, Josh almost broke both of his hands because somebody said Big Brother sucks.
yeah, he's a large child. Like that I enjoy watching on television. Like all
And
I
CT, I didn't. I mean, CT got away with like kind of acting like an asshole in this situation, going up to Casey, and because Josh went out to CT and was like, "Casey's in there crying," and then CT's like, "Oh, okay, I'm gonna go in and say, I'm sorry, I didn't know you were crying." He kept kind of like saying crying, like, "Oh, I thought you were crying," almost as like a jab to Casey.
you think that's being an asshole? I thought that was like not
I
complete.
thought he was kind of like making a joke out of it, like, "Oh, you said you were crying."
No,
No?
I thought that was really cool of CT. Instead of sitting there arguing with Josh, he was just like, "Oh, I didn't realize she was that upset. Let me go talk to her." And then when he goes in there, he's like, "I didn't know I made you cry." And then she said she wasn't crying. So I think he kept saying it because he's like, "Well, Josh said you were crying."
Right.
I think the point was to say like, well, Josh lied to try to make it like, oh, your friend Josh is lying, trying to
Yeah.
create this problem.
It was
So
less about, I think it was less about like worrying about whether she's crying and more about fighting with Josh, or at least once CT learned she wasn't crying, it was about like him and Josh.
yeah, I think he genuinely was like, "Oh my god, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to make you cry." And then once she was like, "I wasn't crying," then it was like, "Oh, well, your friend is making up lies to try to make us fight." Like, you know
No,
what I mean?
I said she was upset. No,
You,
no, CT.
I love when people lie and then
And
production.
then flashback.
I love it. I love it. Yes, thank you.
I said she was upset.
No, you didn't.
No.
Uh,
So that happened. The next morning, the West Camp is trying to have the House vote towards Corey and Tori. It seems like it's possible. West tries to take control of the deliberation, but I was not a fan of his approach or speech in general during the deliberation. He said things like, he kept talking about smoke screens. He said smoke screen like 4 times about Corey lying to him. And then he said, like, I found out Corey's smoke screen and that he was lying to me. Don't let that all happen to you. It's like, what game are you playing? The intimidation game? Because that's not going to work with
I think he
you.
was playing more of like the word, like the words of wisdom, like even his speech at the end, like it was really more about, I don't know, he was really sensitive this season. I think he even admitted to it. Like, I don't know what got to him, but he was very sensitive about like
Yeah.
lying and stuff like that.
Yeah. We see the double agents go into the chamber. Leroy and Casey, they are partners, but that's the extent of it.
Yeah.
They don't share any information with each other. So you could probably assume that won't be a pair for the whole season.
Yeah, I would.
So,
Yeah,
like, what is the approach?
because there's no point in being a pair when it's a limit. Like, so I would say, obviously, if there were double eliminations, that it might be better for him to stay with Casey because you have like one foot into that other alliance that might save you from going into an elimination. But because it's individual eliminations, there's no benefit of him being on her team, partnered with her.
Yeah, although a one benefit of being Casey's partner is she got second place in last season's final.
Yeah, but it's unless they're winning daily challenges every time. Yeah.
And we assume that the final will be individual. I guess we're assuming that.
Yeah. I hope it's better than last season's.
Huh?
I hope it's better than last season's.
The final? Yeah, the final struggled last season.
That was brutal. The only good part about it was the drinking game that we made up.
Yeah, and then the other good, yeah, that was awesome. But yeah, the other part of the final, the two parts of the final that got edited out that were exactly what we were looking for as fans.
I know. And then like, and I always think about how like I wish I could have seen TJ laughing at the bananas and Rogan jumping for the bell.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Like somebody said that like they've never seen TJ laugh so hard because they
it was on Challenge Mania's podcast. One of the people that were in the final were on the interview, and they were saying how it was like the funniest thing of all time. But obviously, it wasn't edited like that because it had to look badass. Rogan's, sent home by bananas.
Yeah, I just hate hearing that shit. I'm like, they cut out what? Like, why?
That make it a 2-part final if you have to.
Yeah, like we have nothing to do. Like we're all trapped inside. Like, give me more, not less.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we get to the elimination. Leroy and Casey end up, or we see Wes again. Wes's gameplay. People overestimate how good he is at the political game, in my opinion. He is like, he came off very desperate to Leroy and Cam and was like, I want to hug you, shake your hand, and be like we used to be, like, it's like the timing is so predictable. They literally have power right now, and you're coming to grovel.
Yeah. But I feel like Cam senses that shit, and she doesn't really. Yeah.
Cam doesn't give a shit.
She's smart. She's smarter than, like, I feel like somebody like Josh, who's really emotional, would be like, oh, all right, you're my best friend again now, like, and not pick up on, I don't know.
Yeah, but Cam is probably like, oh, Wes.
Yeah.
Because Wes, and even when Wes was like begging to Leroy, he was like, and I want Cam to be a part of this. And it's like, Cam's like, I'm like 4 steps ahead of you, buddy. Like,
nah, not gonna work.
But yeah, to the elimination. So Leroy and Casey end up voting in Wes. Leroy decides not to go in, although it would have been easy money.
You would think, but okay, so yes.
Leroy is stronger than Wes.
Yes, and also Wes is stronger than Devin, and Wes, like, let's be honest, he even kind of said it. Wes kind of gave up.
I hate that excuse, like, he's my friend.
No, I don't think he, like, intentionally was like, I'm going to let him win. I think he struggled, like, the main reason, like, a good competitor typically wins is that, like, that fight. And he didn't have it because he's like, wow, I just got backstabbed by my friend, and I'm going against my other friend who I know wants this so bad, and it's hard for me to have that, like, fight. Not that he necessarily was just like, oh, I'm going to do bad so he wins. It was more like, I can't give this my all. I can't, like, mentally get there. Where Leroy, I feel like would have been a freaking,
would have been strictly business for Leroy.
Yeah, it would have been a stroll in the park, but
yeah. So I mean, the elimination was called Snapping Point. Obviously, it's Devin versus Wes. Devin got voted in by the house, so Wes's plans didn't work out there. Wes's plans didn't work out at all because it's Wes versus Devin in the elimination.
And Devin is partnerless because Nicole went home.
Yeah, Devin is partnerless, so he felt like he had nothing to lose, so he kind of created that target on his back intentionally. Don't know if that was the best play.
Yeah, he kind of was like, I know everyone's gonna vote me in. I know I don't have any. It's like, well, hold on, maybe nobody noticed that. Like, don't call attention to it.
And yeah, it's double agents. There's pairs, but we know rogue agents exist. So you're basically a rogue agent, which is not a bad thing. It's not really a target. I mean, it wasn't a target when CT was a rogue agent, was it? Like,
every time you say rogue agent, I think you're gonna say Rogan.
Yeah.
Did you know that Rogan and Joss aren't friends anymore?
Stop it. That's a bigger deal than Tori and Jordan. Are you serious?
Yeah,
they're not friends. They hate each other?
They're not friends. He posted on he went like live on Instagram, and he was like, I know everybody wants to know the tea about me and Joss. And let's just say, I don't want to badmouth anybody, but let's just say, we're not friends right now. Maybe one day we will be, but right now we are.
Whoa. Never thought that would happen. I thought they had like a bond that nobody else could have.
I know. I have no idea why. And
Yeah, let's just hope they don't come back as a rivals pair, because that team would be nasty.
That'd be sick.
So yeah, elimination is called snapping point. They're tethered by a rope, and then they have to sprint through these little obstacles, these posts, like basketball drills or like sport drills, and push a button at the end. So, they're sprinting. Devin seems like he gets to the point a little bit sooner than Wes, and MTV The Challenge on Twitter released Wes's like going out statement. Wes, had some excuses maybe and was like, I didn't expect the tether to be that long. I thought it would snap us back sooner. So I kind of slowed down at the end, which is what he said. Possible, sure. But these types of eliminations, one, they're not too fun to watch once they get to that standstill point. Yeah. And two, it's like extremely hard to gain an inch, which I suppose is a testament in its own to be able to inch out your opponent in this type of elimination. But we've seen this on Vendettas when the mercenaries came in. It was like Darrell versus
Derek,
and they tied. It was like a very similar tether.
It was Darrell against who? Hunter or?
It was Frank versus Brad, and then Darrell versus Nelson.
Oh, and they all tied, right? Or no?
Brad ended up beating Frank. Then Laurel beat Brittany, and Ashley lost to Cam.
Remember Brittany and Brad dating?
I didn't want to, but now I do.
So I can see Wes like overthinking it and doing exactly what you said, that like overthinking it and being like, well, if I go full speed and then I hit the end, I'm gonna bounce back. So I could see him like overthinking it and slowing down so that way he didn't bounce back.
Yeah, because maybe bouncing back would bring you back a couple of feet that you wouldn't be able to gain back.
Exactly. So I don't know.
Still, I mean, I guess kudos to Devin. Devin inched him out. Not a lot of people can say they beat Bananas and Wes in elimination.
Damn. Now he just needs
is Devin the greatest of all time?
Ew, chill. Now he just needs to beat CT, and then.
Is this Devin's season? Is he gonna win the final?
Wait, what?
Is he gonna get to the final? Is he like does he have a bright gold target on his back right now as kind of a layup with a gold skull?
Devin, yeah. I mean, I don't know. You think he'll last?
It's like once you get the gold skull, I feel like it's a straight away ticket to the final. People still need to get their gold skulls.
True. So they're not they'd rather be focusing on getting one to targeting.
Yeah, I guess maybe in this type of double agent game, the house vote can unanimously vote in Devin, and I don't know. We'll see how it works out. I mean, this whole skull twist is still brand new pretty much, so we're still seeing how it develops. Yeah, Devin beats Wes in elimination, in like a physical elimination pretty much. Devin follows suit, follows his good friend Kyle, and chooses to infiltrate. Kyle infiltrated Corey or Josh last episode and is now partners with Cam, so it's Kyle and Cam. Devin decides to take Tori away from Corey.
How funny was it when Tori was like, please no. I didn't know that they had a rivalry. I didn't.
Yeah, they were on that second chances, Are You the One type of competition reality show.
I watched it.
Yeah, I did too. I'm ashamed. I watched it.
Like There hasn't been an Are You the One or X on the Beach in like over a year.
Nah, I'm assuming COVID just, they're just getting out what is most important.
Yeah.
And because of COVID, they're not like doing anything extra, perhaps.
You're gonna have all of those shows involve 10 people in a house for a month. Like, can you just have them all take a quick COVID test? Like, it's very common now. I can go to CVS and get a COVID test and it's free and I get my results in a day. Like, why can't they just do that?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I haven't heard anything about any new season, so that's a good point.
Like, why don't they just create a bubble? The house.
I've heard that season 37 is already giving calls out for the challenge, and I haven't heard anything about any other shows, so I'm not
Listen,
sure.
I don't really care, but
Yeah.
even Floribama Shore, like, there's just a ton of, no offense, like shitty MTV reality shows that usually are on as just like filler, and I can like stalk challenge people who are on them, but like right now there's none.
Yeah, or keep me sane throughout the week until the next challenge episode airs, or
Yeah.
when they skip a challenge week.
You know who I'd love to see on the challenge? Do you remember Adora Delano? She was on the same season as Amber M. Are You the One?
She was on X on the Beach though. Adore?
Yeah, you're right. She was on X on the Beach with, I think Nicole was on that season.
Was that the one that was feeling Marlon, the big black dude?
No.
Or was it the skinnier one who was a little, Danny was her name or something?
Yeah.
That's her. Yeah, she was funny.
Her drag name is Adora Delano, and I just watched her RuPaul season, and I had seen her first on X on the Beach and on RuPaul, and hilarious. I follow them on Instagram, and they're just so freaking funny and like really cool. So I feel like that'd be a really fun challenge edition, but
yeah,
I don't know if they would be interested.
I agree. Yeah.
Huh?
Huh?
I don't know how we got here.
Yeah, how did we've gotten sidetracked a lot throughout this episode.
It's because I haven't seen you in so long. Like what, like 3 days?
I know. But yeah, Wednesday is the next time we get the challenge on our TVs again. It's been too long. Thanks for joining. We see Corey is with Natalie now. That's a very strong duo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see how all this plays out. Thanks for joining us here at ChallengeXpress.
Thanks for dealing with us.
Thanks for dealing with us, those of you out there who are dealing with us. I'm very sorry.
I'm so sorry.
It'll get better eventually, right?
Like, I don't know, we're on year 5, so like probably by year like 8.
Yeah, I mean, just stick around. It'll be worth it.
Maybe.
Maybe. All right, but we will see you guys next time. Doses.